Once again, we're back to look at figures of speech in literature. We've looked at the first part, second part, and now this is the third part and the last part of figure of speech we are going to treat here. Now, from the list, we are now on number F, which is figures of indirectness, the last part of it. So what is figure of indirectness? These are figurative devices in which the meaning of what is being described is hidden and implied. A writer may say the opposite of what he means. In figures of indirectness, the speaker says exactly the opposite of what he has in mind, thereby referring to what he actually wants to tell you. He will not go direct to tell you what he means, but from the opposite of what he said, you'll be able to get the meaning of what he wants to tell you. Now let's look at some of the examples. The first one is irony. Irony is a figure of speech in which one says one thing but means here the speaker says the opposite of what he or she has in mind. We have examples. Peter failed his examination. He is the most intelligent boy in his class. In this example, we can say that if Peter is actually the most intelligent student in their class, he wouldn't have failed his exam. But the speaker doesn't want to put it straight forward to him that he is not intelligent. Rather, he said he is the most intelligent boy because he failed the exam. He failed his examination. So he said the opposite of what he has in mind. Now the second example, Eze took first from behind. Eze took first from behind. Second one, our school team is very strong that we lost 10 matches and won only one. In these examples, Eze taking first from behind. Of course, we all know that it is not possible for one to take the very first position which everybody is seeking to take from behind. Rather, it means that he took the last position. Counting from the back, he becomes the first. So that is an irony. Now the last one there, the school team must have been a very weak team to have lost 10 goals and won only one. So the person used irony to address that. Now the second example of figure of indirectness is sarcasm. Sarcasm is a form of verbal irony that insults a person with insincere praise. It is a bitter and sneering speech whose sole aim is to give pain or hurt one's feelings. The speech is applied with scorn and contempt for its victim. It is also an undisguised expression of anger, unkind joke, whose sole intention is to hurt, so as to punish the listener. Now, in this figure of speech, sarcasm is a kind of biting irony. The only intention of using sarcasm for one is to hurt the feeling of that person. You want to make that person feel so bad. Now, when you use sarcasm, when there is a sarcastic statement used for someone, the person feels hurt and the pain is written all over him or her. Let's look at some of the examples. Number one example, finish the food. After all, I don't have mouth. Second example, God made him, let him pass for a man. The third example, every savage can dance. In these examples, the first one, finish the food, after I don't have mouth. This is the kind of sarcastic statement a mother can use for the child who finished her food and also wants to finish that of the mother. Now maybe the child went to the mother and said, Mommy, can I take the food in the pot? And the mother gave her this answer. Finish the food after I don't have mouth. This is a straightforward message that the child should know that there is a sound warning that she should never go near that pot. Then the second example, every savage can dance. Now, referring to somebody as a savage means that the person is rated below a normal human being, because when human beings dance, we grade them by looking at their graceful dance. Then also you can refer to a savage as dancing. Of course, the dance of a savage can be abnormal. So referring to a human being that dances normal as a savage and describing the human being's dance as that of a savage means that the person is rated below normal human being. So that is a sarcastic statement. As for a man, means that the person, now you use that statement to tell the person, well, it is just that God has created you. Maybe a mistake on the side of God. So you can continue to live as a man. So it is also a sarcastic statement. Irony, the figure of indirectness we have is innuendo, which can also be called insinuation. And it means a clear and indirect way of passing on pleasant statements or comments about a person in a way that the meaning becomes clear without offending the person being addressed. Innuendo, often known as insinuation, we make statements, talk about people without actually bringing out the aspect of hurting the feelings of that person. But the message must be clear. It is only when the person begins to think about it that you will know, he or she will know that you are actually using a kind of ironical statement for him. Now let's look at the examples. Now the first one says, Nkechi is honest, especially with matters unconnected with money. In this example, it is as simple as saying that Nkechi cannot be trusted with money. Nkechi squanders money, or Nkechi takes whatever that does not belong to her. So that means when you have something important that is something important as money, you need to hide it away from Nkechi. You never said that Nkechi steals money. You never said that Nkechi pickpockets. But then you said she can never be trusted. That she can be trusted except with things that are unconnected with money. So you can trust her with other things, but don't joke with her where money is, because she will definitely disappoint you. Then the second example, only a senseless girl would have behaved the way Uche did yesterday. In this example, Uche is categorically said to be a senseless girl. But you never said, Uche, you are a senseless girl. But by the statement that only a senseless girl would have behaved the way Uche behaved yesterday shows that Uche is categorized as a girl without sense. So that is an insinuation. Among the figures of indirectness is euphemism. Euphemism is the substitution of a mild or less negative word or phrase for a harsh or blunt one. It treats harsh and serious issues in a very mild way. An unpleasant situation is presented in a dignified way. In euphemism, things that will sound so harsh or a kind of hurt the feelings of the person that is being addressed is always presented in a very mild way. So lessen the harshness that is going to bring to the ear. Now, the weight or the evil that is attached to something is hidden beneath the mild way of presenting it, so that the listener will think, or will not be able, the listener will think there is no harm attached to that, which also, when you look at it, the effect will later be seen. We have some of the examples here. The first one, Okon has passed on to glory. In this example, we just want to say that Okon is dead. Now, by the way it is placed that he has passed on to glory beautifies the scene. Now, it no longer looks as if it is death. But then, you are using euphemism to cover up the harshness of that word death, which it can bring to the ear, or especially to the hearer, who would, of course, we don't know how the person is going to hear it. But with this passing on to glory, it looks as if he has gone. So he has passed on. He has gone to a very. He has embarked on a journey that is so comfortable that everybody will also wish to embark on. Then the second example, Ifeoma has been deflowered. In this example, It will look harsh when you say that Ifeoma, a young girl that is not married, is disvirgined. It looks so harsh. Maybe to the mother of this Ifeoma when it is said. Then maybe when you come to the mother and say Ifeoma has been deflowered, the harshness is lessened. Now, the stigma is going to be on the mother who will look at the disappointment she's getting from her daughter will be less. The next example, the young man keeps the bucket. Just like the example we have here, passed on to glory, is also referring to death. Now, instead of saying the young man has died, the weight of the word death is much. So it cannot be lessened by saying that he kicked the bucket. The last example we have there is that the beautiful lady is every man's wife. In this example, it's simply telling us that the lady is one that sleeps around with every man that is available. So that is why she is referred to every man's wife. Now, instead of saying that woman is a harlot, that woman sleeps around with every man, it can sound so harsh to the ear. Now, it looks milder when it is said that she is every man's wife. Okay, now that's the last part of the figure of speech we are going to look at. Now we take our assignment. Identify the figures of speech used in the following statements. Number 1, Adam has a light finger. Number 2, sweet peas, where does thou dwell? Number 3, my fair flesh and fair family. Number 4, this God fell on the music of his soul. Number 5, the strong guns groaning as the guns boom far. Number 6, 40 hands descended on the devilish head. Number 7, that it will rain is not unlikely. Number 8, jump into the fire if you do not want to die. Number 9, she is black, beautiful, brilliant, and benevolent. Number 10, I am a mender of bad souls. Thank you so much. Please do my assignments and do stay safe. Bye.